Hello, welcome. djvicvapor with you. Bitwig Studio Advanced Concepts, and in this tutorial or in this video, we're going to take a look at humanizing your chords and then taking that same chord progression and maybe developing like a little melody or bass line out of it. So let me give you a quick playback of this little groove I've got here, and you can see simply it's just a MIDI clip, a chord, some chords that I've put together, and a little loop, standard beat kind of loop, but look how much we get out of it, I guess is my point. So, and then I'll show you how to kind of humanize it as well. So if you heard that close enough, you can kind of see, and I'll zoom in a little bit, the chords aren't really on the grid or even. You know, they're a little bit offset here. Let me find another spot. Say like these ones right here. See these three notes all make that chord up, but see how they're offset, like the one's here, one's ahead, and one's back. That's humanizing the chord in a way that simulates when you would play the piano, for instance, and maybe not all of your fingers as you play the chords hit or push the keys at the same time with the same pressure. So typically if you set up a bunch of chords and just put them to the grid, it sounds very rigid and very non-human. So let's take a look at kind of a way Bitwig allows us to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'll just go ahead and delete. You know what? I don't need to delete it. I'll just mute. No, we'll delete it. I'm sorry. We'll go ahead and delete it. So I'll solo, and I'll just delete that one, and I'll bring in the same set of chords, but this time this particular set of chords hasn't been humanized, or I haven't treated it to sound good. So what I'll do is show you, get rid of that end right there. You can see they're all right on the grid. They're all even. Every one of the notes are, whoops, sorry, wrong way. Get my mouse working here. All the notes are, see how they're straight, dead even on every chord. And that's what I was talking about earlier, is like, this is pretty much a pretty rigid sound. So let's listen to it real quick. Not horrible, but we can do much better, and Bitwig has a great feature to let us do that. So let's take a look at it. You want to highlight the clip here, go to the inspector. Sorry, I had to think about it for a second. And on the inspector, we've got a bunch of different options here that we can start to manipulate. But the one we're going to focus on here is quantize time. We'll open up that guy, and you can see you've got a shuffle button and a humanize and some different end and start amounts here. So humanize is where we're going to focus. So let me get back out of here for a second, and what we need to do first is decide which chords we want to work with. So one at a time, we're going to do this chord, and we're going to come back in here, and we can adjust it at whatever percent we want. So let's say this one maybe 69, and just hit apply. And then I can move the shuffle around as well. I'm going to leave it right around there. And apply. And we'll clear out there. Go to our next set of chords. You don't always have to accept what it gives you either, so not really. All right, so let's do that one more time. I didn't like what, sometimes the results it gives you isn't exactly what you want. I'm going to leave the shuffle to 0, hit apply. All right, and we will go to the next set. And if you watch close enough when we're doing this, you'll see the notes shift a little bit. Let's go a little bit higher this time. You see the notes shift a little bit there? So we will go to the next set. Let's drop it down a little bit. Keep it random. You know, you don't want the same percentage all the way through. Might as well adjust it and move it around as much as you can. So we've got that guy, and what we got left? 2 chords left. That one. Let's move him up. And on this last one, we'll just, let's go 100%. Apply. All right, so now let's zoom in here. Let me move the inspector, give us some real estate. Let's zoom in here, and you can see now the notes aren't as even as they once were. See how they've just slightly moved a little bit? That's what we're after. That gives you that human feel of, you know, not all your fingers meeting the keyboard at the same time. So let me go ahead and play back what we've got there. You hear that flamminess, that just that nice subtle inconsistency in the notes. That really opens up the entire situation. So that's how you can humanize your chords. But how did we get this melody? And that's the same MIDI clip. So what I've done there is I've simply, on this channel, I put in a note receiver, told it to give us the notes from the chords section. I've got an arpeggiator, and I've mapped 2 of the macros here. The first one is to the mode, which is this guy right here, the up-down mode. It's going to give us some ability to move that. And this one, the second macro, is mapped to the gate, which is essentially the length of the notes. How long do we want them? Do we want them short, arpeggiated style, or do we want them a little bit longer? So that's going to, the gate is going to give us length of notes. So let's listen to that. See how much longer they just got? They're not so staccato and short. And again, this is just the pattern change. And I've simply got my hybrid synth. I've got a thin to thick mod wheel, arpeggiator. I think I messed around with a little bit with the cutoff and changed the envelope a little bit, but nothing too special there. So essentially all together, we've got so what you can do is you can come in and actually automate these within your song production and get that chord or that arpeggiation to slightly change over time, giving you a nice variation throughout the song. So one more thing I want to show you is not only can you manipulate MIDI in this manner, but we've got this nice little standard drum loop from my Sennheiser Deep House pack. And we can actually humanize this, even though it's a loop. We just need to highlight it, go back to our inspector. I'm going to highlight this part of the clip. And we're going to go the same place. We're going to go to Quantize, and you've got Shuffle and Humanize again. Just hit Apply, And you can see it shift a little bit there. Watch it again. Back and forth. And it's just setting it off the grid a little bit, kind of creating a nice little humanization to the drum beat itself. So there you have it, another Bitwig Studio Advanced Concepts. As always, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for pushing play and hanging out. Hopefully you're learning something and enjoying what I'm able to show you. And we'll catch you on the next video. Peace.